Hello everyone, today I will be discussing a couple of subjects. I'm attempting to start with this video two new series. One about self-defense, personal defense, things of that nature, and situational awareness as well. And another about the subject of post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Bear with me, this is not going to be easy. Maybe I'll get on a roll and it'll get easier, but it's a tough subject sometimes. I don't really know what I'm doing, hell. I'm just gonna start with a story. Can't prove it's true, can't prove it's false. Whatever. Maybe it'll mean something to you. Maybe it can help someone be more aware of the realities of life, so that they don't end up as fucked up as I am. I was driving home from work one day, and as I got to a certain stoplight, four-way stoplight, well, traffic signal, waiting on a green light. This road, at the stoplight, there was two lanes going my direction. Or rather the same direction as the way I was going. Whatever. And then about, 150 feet past the other side of the intersection, the road merged down into one lane. Knowing, where I was and everything, I'm aware of this. And as always, at the stoplight, I look left, look right, look, all around, look at people in their cars, look at pedestrians, and everything. Head on a swivel. Well, the guy next to me, what I prejudged was, college student, probably got a test or a girlfriend on his mind, whatever. He had this look on his face. I don't really know how to articulate it. But normally I'm the first one through the intersection and everyone else is tailing way behind me because my truck's a little bit souped up. That day I saw, that guy, and he had just this look on his face, and I thought, I think the smart move is to sit here for a second and let him get ahead of me, before the road goes down to one, And, so I did. Well, no good deed goes unpunished. So, I didn't think much of it. He was driving right, which I can't say for most people. I was like 2 car lengths behind him. No big deal. Didn't really think much of it. I mean, I was aware, but it didn't throw any red flags. Well, we go, several miles down this road where it basically dead ends into kind of tees into a larger highway. And and this is kind of integral to understanding what happened, is I need to describe this. You've got this 4 or 5 lane whatever highway, and then you've got this little 2-lane road that intersects or tees into it. ends and begins there, you know. And to the right, from the direction I was coming on that little road, to the right there's a gas station, just a little regular old, nothing fancy, just a little gas station. There was one lane for traffic going in on that road, starting on that road going back towards town. And there was, then it actually split into two going out. It's weird how they have it marked, but that's what it was. And, I drive a pickup truck, and it's not no little Ford Ranger, little Chevy S10 or any other little tiny bullshit. It's a regular sized truck. And well, I was behind this guy, but he was in the middle portion, the part to turn left onto the highway, and I needed to turn right onto the highway. But I didn't think I could get my truck in between his vehicle, where it was in that lane, and not hit the curb and fuck up my tires. And so I kind of sat behind him for a second. We're all at this stop sign, waiting on the first person to be able to go when traffic allows. And then a Camaro, which is also a wide-bodied vehicle, come right up beside us. And I go, well, shit, if he can make it and not scrape up his tires, then I can make it. And so I proceeded to put my blinker on, look around real quick, and get into the other lane. Well, as I was passing him, when the nose of my truck came even with the middle cross member in between the doors of his truck, SUV, he tried to slam right into me. I'm like, whoa! That'll get your attention. That'll wake you up in the morning or afternoon or any time, really. But I figured, well, that probably wasn't intentional. He probably didn't see me. Maybe I was in his blind spot when he decided to turn. Maybe he didn't remember there was somebody behind him that isn't behind him now. I don't know. That happens. It's no big deal. Like, keep on trucking. Well, he rolled down his window, which was a huge red flag. There's only a few reasons that he would have been rolling down his window, and I didn't think any of them were a good reason to stick around. Either he was going to cuss me, and I didn't really care to hear it when it was his dumbass fault, though it was probably an honest mistake. Whether it was or wasn't, I'll never know, and I don't really give a fuck at this point. So, he then, after I've gotten up to the stop sign, whips out behind me and isn't stopping. And I did a Cali roll, and he's waving around, making a bunch of furtive movements around his cab and probably cussing and all kind of shit that I can't hear because I didn't roll down my window. Not that a window can stop bullets, so. Which, side note, that's why I've got this vest. It's good to have. Well, I did a Cali roll right through that stop sign and got onto the highway. And he didn't even pretend to Cali roll. He was right up on my ass the whole time and gaining. And then he started trying to pass me. But not pass me like someone passes someone in traffic, when they're in a hurry. No. No. He was trying to pass me and angle to push me off the road. And he started moving his vehicle, trying to push me off the road. And we hadn't made contact yet, but that's only because I was aware of what he was doing, and I was, countering it with tactical driving that I've picked up. What little I do know about it has saved my life thus far. And I said, well, I know how to stop this shit. And I slammed on the brakes. There wasn't hardly anybody on the roads, and nobody in my lane behind me for at least quarter mile, half a mile, maybe more. And slammed on my brakes so he'd fly on down the road and, trying to get away from the threat. At this point, at that point it probably was a deadly threat, but I was using all of my non-lethal means of getting out of this, and he was watching pretty close, I guess, because as soon as I slammed on my brakes and fell about 20, 30 foot behind maybe, he slammed on his brakes. I'm like, fuck. And then I speed the hell up, and my truck's governed at a certain rate of speed. I didn't get up to that rate, but I got, I was going probably about 95 miles an hour easily. Trying to get away. And this guy kept trying to speed up, get up on me, and push me off the road and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, and at this point, my adrenaline's pumping, my heart's beating. I know this motherfucker is trying to kill me. Don't know why. Don't know what's going on. Doesn't fucking matter why, because right now, my life is all that matters. And, So I basically exhaust all my tactical driving with the exception of pitting him, which I'm aware, if it isn't considered lethal force in my state, actually I think it is. I consult local law enforcement. But at this point, it was authorized. I considered pitting him. I know how to do it correctly to not injure myself, and to hell with anybody trying to kill me. It just doesn't fucking matter. Like, they forfeited their life and their human card as soon as they attacked me out of nowhere. That's not something to take lightly, man. That is not something to take lightly. I apologize. I'm reliving it. This is difficult. Well, finally, I realized none of that was was working, and I didn't want a chance fucking up my vehicle, because I'd be up shit creek without a paddle and no safety net or nothing if I did that. That's my only way to work. Like, fuck you, don't you know, even minimal damage would have, at that time, been difficult to handle. Repairs on, parts and labor and whatever. And anyway, neither here nor there. So when I had the opportunity to pit him, I knew that was probably not the safest or smartest move. It probably would not have turned out well for either of us. Anyway, you know, and this with this whole, you know, back and forth, you know, and this whole like weird, fucked up tactical driving experience that it fucking was. Um, I, you know, I finally was like, nope, this guy's for sure trying to kill me. He's trying to push me off the road. If it wasn't for me knowing what in the being aware of what's going on and how to handle it to some extent, yeah, I don't even want to think about that. But so finally, I said, no, to hell with this. I ain't dying today. I'm scared to death. I'm scared to fucking death at this point. I ain't no fucking pussy, but I was scared that I was going to die. Like, wow. And so finally, we get up. He gets up beside me again, you know, because I know if I push it too hard, my truck's going to govern out, and then I'm going to be in a real bad situation. And so I'm pushing it up to that line and not a pinch over. And he has no problem keeping up with me, and keeps trying to swerve and ram, and he pulls back at the last second, probably because he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Or it's grandmama's car, or who knows. Uh, you know, and I didn't process this whole thing till days later, but in the immediate life-saving processing that was done that people do when they're in an immediate situation, an immediate threat, I reached around my seatbelt and I fucking pulled out a pistol. Wasn't the one you just saw, but I pulled out a pistol. Actually, I pulled out this pistol right here. This is the pistol that saved my life. And I pulled it out and I held it up. My hands were still on the wheels because this was a fucked up situation that involved some really hardcore driving. And so I put my wrist on the wheel just like this, and then I realized with the cross beam, the A beam, what do they call that shit? A post? That there's a good possibility he didn't see it and my life's still in danger. Well, fuck. And so I pulled my wrist back up off, and I did like this. Now, I hadn't pointed it at him yet. I brandished it. It ain't hard to do that right there. It really fucking isn't. So I was fine with not trying to go all out, just one step at a time, hoping that the fight will be over before either of us is seriously injured. I held it up in the window, and I made eye contact with him. Mind you, I'm driving 95 miles an hour down a 4-lane, 5-lane highway. And I made eye contact with him and gave him a look like, hey, I'm not fucking around. Do you want some? Because I don't. You know, whatever looks can say, right? And I'll be damned. What do you think happened? He got into what we call here the suicide lane. The middle turning lane, that 5th lane in the middle, or 3rd lane, or however you look at it. And the very first county road to the left, mind you, we were going, well, it's, okay, yeah. Anyway, he turned on to that, and he whipped in as fast as he could. I mean, there was dust everywhere, to the first county road on the left, and he was gone. Never seen him again. Never seen him before in my life, never saw him again. There's a lot of valuable lessons in this. Number one, learn how to fucking drive. I can't say too much, I don't know how to park. Really, I fucking suck at parking. Don't park next to me. Number two, ACAG. Always carry a gun. I didn't want to shoot that asshole. And luckily I didn't have to that day. But I would have been just another victim. Make no mistake, I would have been just another fucking victim just of crime. I would have been nothing but a fucking bloody smear on the road had I not pulled this motherfucker out and let him know I'm in fucking business when it comes to my life, my health, and my safety. I apologize for the shaking. I really can't hold my... I had to relive all that. I really can't hold my hand straight. No, that isn't what gave me PTSD. Like, no, it's not. That was just another match on the fire. And maybe a cup full of gasoline more. You know, more fuel to the fire. But, like, I still have nightmares about, you know, situations and scenarios like that. It fucks with me bad. And, well, it's been better lately. This has been maybe a year ago. No, it was over a year and a half, 2 years. You know, everybody at work that knows I have a license and carry, like, now some of them, they carry too, whether they have a license or not. I'm assuming they all have licenses. But, I don't know. I don't ask. It's none of my fucking business. And I haven't ever seen their guns, but I've heard about them. Maybe they're lying. Could be. People lie about a lot of shit. Sometimes to look cool. None of my business. I don't give a fuck. But what I'm saying is, certain people looked at me like in a whole new way. And it wasn't, it was in a distrustful way. And, you know, but I'm used to bullshit like that, I guess. So, like, well, why are you looking at me like that? Do you have something to hide that deserves death? Like, are you trying to kill me? Are you poisoning me and I just don't fucking know it? Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, quit being stupid. Like, get the fuck out of here. You know, but, sorry. What, you know, what I learned, what needs to be taken, what takeaways there are from that, you know, is, you know, if you don't know any tactical driving skills, how to lose a tail, how to, you know, how to pit a car, how to do shit like that, you need to learn. You need to at least learn in theory. If you can practice it, cool. If you can't, just the knowledge sometimes. You'd be surprised what you can recall even without muscle memory. Okay? Although muscle memory is best. It takes 3 to 10,000, depending on who you ask, times of repetitions. You know, most people I know say about 5,000 repetitions, and you've got some form of muscle memory. You know, but you know, so you know, learn to drive, and always carry a gun. Hope to God, pray. If you pray to something, pray that you never have to use it. Pray that you don't even have to show anyone in that way. It's not fun. It's not badass. Anybody who says it is, I argue that they're full of shit. Or they're just trying to look cool, or they're whatever. They're still scared about it, but don't want to, you know, they want to look tough. That's fine. Don't pick that apart. they need that. Okay. You know, I guess now, all of you that stuck through to this point of the video, probably now at least understand why self-defense and PTSD can go together, and usually do, and what this is all about. Now, I'm going to have some videos that are going to be, I guess I'll make a playlist for self-defense, and then another playlist for PTSD related stuff, and I hope to even do some collaborations with some good friends, but we'll see what happens. Everybody's got to be not busy at the same time. But I love you all, except that one guy. No, I even love him, even though he basically tried to kill me. I hope he prays every day to his God, or whatever he believes in, or himself, or anything, in the mirror. I don't give a fuck. For gratitude that he is still alive. I hope none of you ever have to go through anything like that. But, just, and more importantly than, not everyone's able to carry a gun for various reasons. Whether it's laws or whether it's, whatever. And I wouldn't ever say you should violate the law, but, do what you feel is right. I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6, I guess. Who knows? Maybe I'd rather be carried by 6, I don't know. But not that day. I didn't want that day, that's for sure. So I guess, your priorities get straightened out real fucking quick when you think you're gonna die. Okay? You start to all of a sudden realize what the fuck is actually important. Fuck the shit you were pissed off about an hour ago. Yeah. Fuck how I'm feeling sad today. Like, fuck all that. That shit all goes out the window, and you learn what is real and what is important. What else can I impart? I mean, like I say, just be ready to defend yourself in whatever way that you are capable of. I advocate guns because that's a big thing in this state, and, everywhere since ever. It is the great equalizer. It can take the smallest, most crippled up person, as long as they can fire a gun in some semblance of a straight area, makes them equal to the biggest, baddest motherfucker out there. It makes your grandmother equal to the thug on the corner. Okay. I just want what's best for all of you, for everybody. And I felt I needed to share that story. There will be others. Wow. I'm not going to let this last over 30 minutes, so, yeah, just know that you're not alone. If you've had situations that maybe whatever they are, that fucked you up, that traumatized you, you're not alone. Whatever you're going through, there are so many of us out here that have also been through it. Your time to shine is coming. Stay with us. God bless you all.